Alright, so here's our problem. We have here a Polaris Ranger 6x6 2008. It's a 700. And this is how it's supposed to work. You can see, turn one tire, both tires over. Right? Just like that. Problem is that. That was no good. So, what I believe we need to do, adjust this a little bit here. What I believe we need to do is we need to take this off, the tire off, and pull the axle out and see what's broke with the shaft, if it's part of the pumpkin gear, if we have to replace the whole differential rear end. I don't think we're going to have to replace the whole rear end because we've still got power over there. So let's tear into this and see where we end up. Alrighty, so in the process so far, obviously we've removed the wheels and my little Milwaukee rack. I removed the brake caliper and our rotor assembly here, and we're getting ready to start playing with the axle here. As you can see, I can turn it by hand, so we're broke in there somewhere. I've got a snap ring here we're going to pull off real quick. Let's see here. I'm going to turn my snap ring pliers around. There we go. Now we've got our snap ring up here. Now, well, I was kind of hoping I'd just be able to pull that out, but we'll see what else it takes, and we'll come back. All right, so I've got everything apart. I've got these two bottom bolts done. I'm getting ready to do the two top bolts here. I did, as I started loosening this one, I thought, boy, I wonder if everything broke and my seal's going to be bad and I'll end up with axle oil everywhere. So I did go and stick a pan under this thing. Let's kind of see how she goes here. And of course, am I going to have to take this whole damn thing loose to be able to get it out? Probably. So let's spin. Okay, so we're turning here, so we've got to have it broke somewhere in the axle, because we're turning here. If I turn the tire, you can see that. So now I got to figure out how to get this apart. I might have to drop this whole pumpkin gear. All right, well, I'll come back to the video here when we figure out what we're doing next. Alright, so I've dropped the whole axle. Disconnected. We're free. I've got it up on jack stands. So now we're gonna see about pulling this whole thing apart. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, so I don't know why unless it's just that all these teeth in here are hogged out and won't grab this anymore. Now, let's see about this. Okay, that makes it the axle spin. So our axle's all right. Oh yeah, so I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but the splines in here are all hogged out to nothing. Alright, well, let me think on this and we'll see if we can't come up with a solution. Alrighty, so here's what I decided. After combing through the internet last night and figuring out that basically they're going to have to buy a junk machine and that it's working on, I could find these axle joints at eBay, but they look like they're hogged out to me. So what I decided to do was I've got a bunch of these square keys, axle keys, whatever. I notched this out so that my axle key will fit right in there. And I have my axle here because the splines all the way in here, they're just completely hogged out. So I'm going to lay my axle keys, probably 3 or 4 of them in here, so that it will I've got to notch this these two out yet, so that I can slide the whole thing on, and it'll still be able to come apart instead of just trying to weld this axle to the spindle down there. So yeah, it'll be a little bit weaker than factory, but you know, if it breaks again, you know, the machine will still run. I'm just trying to get a little more traction out of it. If it doesn't work, then I know that for the rest of the life of the machine, if I need to go anywhere uphill or downhill, I just need to make sure to put it in 6-wheel drive. So I'm gonna get these cut out and get everything welded together, and we'll pick up the video then. We're gonna tack. Maybe if I can get in here. We're just going to tack these 3 keys here. And I've got to turn my welding helmet from grind back to weld here. Hold on. Okay. Back to tacking. We got 1, 2, 3. Well, want to come off of there or not? The whole point of this was to be able to take the dang thing apart. She kind of wants to move. Well, crap. I guess I'm gonna have to grind those welds off and see what I have to do about making it so that this thing will slide on here and off. Okay, after doing a little bit of a rework here, I've got it so that this thing should slide on and off. I'm going to tack it real quick and we'll check and see if it slides on and off. All right, now with luck, this time it'll slide off. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I'll put it back on. I'll spin it around, pull our tape off. And do the other side here. All right, we'll tack this side and pray that it works. All right, so please slide off. Oh, thank God. All right, so I had to clean it up a little bit more, do a little more work on it. But it does come off. There we go. So now I'm going to put it on there. I'm going to use old Lucas Red and Tacky here. We'll fill it up just in case I ever do have to just take it off. It's still a little hot from welding on it. Make it go on nice and easy here, hopefully. Oh, heck yeah. Goes on nice and easy and comes off nice and easy. Okay. So now if it doesn't work or I break it, I can take it apart and figure out something else to do. All right. Then we've got our axle tube. That will go over and go on, and all I got to do is bolt that back up. So let me set everything here to the side and we'll start putting her back together. All right, so we're all back together and we're going to see now. We know that we spin. I'm going to go ahead and start the machine up and we'll get it going a little ways and see how she does. Oop. All right. Got my little broomstick here as my gas pedal here. You know what? That seems to be pretty good. Let me get the tires on and we'll come back. All right, well, I got the whole thing back together. Let's go see if she'll hold up a little bit. It's going to be a bumpy ride for you. Hope you got your Dramamine. All right, well, let's see if she'll hold together. Well, I think she held together. She still feels good. Once again, if the ladies don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.